Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do another animal that everyone's familiar with. I want to do a Tyrannosaurus Rex Head. It's a dinosaur. It's one of the most famous dinosaurs. And I just wanted to do the head part tonight and show you all the details. See, like on the top. And I'll just kind of rotate them around so you can see them. And there's a tremendous amount of detail on them, and I want to show you how to do that. I did use a new technique for making the reptilian skin, so I'll show you that tonight. And I'll show you the types of clay that you can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And you can use it again and again, and then when you get bored with it, just roll it up in a ball and it's ready to go again. There's an air hardening clay such as this, which hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight. And what's great about this is you can paint it. My preference for the clay is called super sculpey, which can be baked in at the oven about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. And you can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail. I'll show you the size balls of clay we'll be using tonight. We're going to start off with these two balls of clay here. What I'm going to do is this one here is going to be for the lower jaw, and this one's going to be for the upper jaw and the rest of the head. But we'll also be using a couple of other things tonight. I do have a piece of wire here, and I'll be using this to insert into the jaw so it keeps it wide open. And what I also did tonight, I want to show you something interesting. I have a matchstick. So what I did, in order to make the reptilian skin, what I did is I have this compass here with a very sharp needle or point, and you put it in the end like this. See that? You put it into the matchstick like that, and you make a hole, and that's how we'll make the reptilian skin. And I did a couple of them, so we'll have enough for doing the job. And I'll show you. The first thing that we want to do is make the lower jaw. So what we're going to be concentrating on is this piece right here. See this right here? This is the lower jaw, and I want to work on that. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to take this piece of clay right here, and we're going to start to work it. What I'm going to do is start to lengthen it out. It's kind of look like an upside down U. What we're going to do is I'm just going to keep working that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to what I had done previously. Yeah, it looks like we're getting to about the right size. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my thumb and kind of make like a little imprint in there. See that? Hollow out the jar a little bit. So I'm just pushing my thumb down like that. See how I'm doing that? Just like that. So now what we want to do is I want to kind of make a little curve here. So that's going to kind of go up like that. See how that's coming up? And I'll do it on the other side too. What I want to do is I want to look at this and see what I had done. So it looks like it goes like this, up and like that. Let me see. Yep, I see what I did. I worked this piece of clay today to see. I want to make sure I was doing it right. See that? See how it's kind of goes, it's almost like a little roller coaster there. See how it goes, kind of slopes up like that? And then what I want to do too is I want to lengthen this out a little bit. Make the jaw a little wider on the bottom here. It'll be narrow here like a U, but then it will kind of branch out a little bit here. And we can do that. So that's the start for the lower jaw. That's going to be the inside of the lower jaw. That's going to be the side. That'll be the bottom. Another thing that I want to do before we go to the other one is I'm just going to take and make a little imprint with my thumb here. See this? Kind of make a little print here. See how I'm doing that? Just like that. Give it a little more realism. See how I did that? Make that little imprint like that. We're going to put this down right here for the time being. So now I'm going to take this ball of clay here, and we're going to make the upper part of the head. So I'm going to squeeze this like this. What I'm going to do see that I'm pulling, see how I'm making that shape? It's almost like a U here. Look at, I want to compare it to what I did on this piece earlier today. So now it's approximately right. It looks like the eyes will be approximately here. So I just want to kind of give myself an idea where they're going to be. Like that. And another thing that I want to do too is, remember how we made the indentation in the other one for the lower jaw? We're going to do the same thing for the upper jaw. So I'm going to kind of make a little indentation here. Just like that. See that? How we doing that? Just like that. Now it's really starting to take shape. See that? You see how it, as it comes down here, it's a little wider. See, it's a little wider down there. Goes like that and spreads out a little down there. So what I want to do is I want to compare it to this and look at it. I need to lengthen this out a little bit. Let me make sure I got about the right size. Make sure it's, let's see, he looks about right. And this here, so it's really starting to come together. See how that is? We're getting there, but I just need to do a little more shaping. What I want to do is see that? I'm kind of making an indentation here and an indentation here. I'll show you what I'm doing. See how that's, it's kind of curved, getting a little curved there? That's what you want there. Because what I want to do is I want to kind of mirror this here to the upper jaw. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. So what I want to do is I want to kind of figure out where the eyes are going to be. I've got some additional clay over here to the side. So I'm just going to work this a little bit, my hands, warm it up. Just like that. And I'm going to take a little piece of clay off to start the eye. I'll show you the size that I'm doing. This makes it easier to work with. See, I'm doing that. They're about the same size. So now what I want to do is start to make the eye. So I'll show you. This is the shape that we want. See that? That's the very top, but this is what the side is going to look like. What I want to do is I want to compare it to this. It looks like it's going to be approximately here. See where I just put that? I put it right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take this ball of clay. I'll show you. We'll make that. We'll make that piece. See, that's what it's going to look like from the side. That's what it looked like from the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right about here. See that? That's what it will look like from the top. And that's what it will look like from the sides. See that? It's really starting to take shape now. Okay. Some other things that I want to do also is we want to build up the top part of the head. I have these, I'm going to take 3 pieces of clay and put them here. See that? We're going to be making those pieces right there. And I'll show you how we'll do that. Very simple. I'll take some clay off. We're going to use the table here. I'll just put these aside here. So what I want to do is, see this? Let's just roll it here. Make it simple. And I'll do the same with the other one. Just like that. Let's make it a little bit longer. See that? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'll place it, see like that, right there. And I'm going to go down to about here. So I'll pinch that off right about there. See how I put that there? Right there. Now what we're going to do is I'll take and I'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll take that. I'll take that and I'll pinch it right there. See? See how we did that? And the third one is going to go in the center. So we'll take that one, and I'm going to put that right about here. I'll pinch it right there. We put the third one right in the center like that. And I'm just going to kind of press that down like that. See how nice that looks now? He's really starting to come along. So the next thing I want to do is I want to build up the eye a little bit more. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of clay here. I'll put those down on the table. And I'm going to look at my sculpture here. And I'm going to put this, take this ball of clay here, and approximately build it up right here. See that? See how I put that there? Right there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take and put it approximately right there. Just like that. See how we did that? It's really starting to come along nicely. And then what I want to do is I want to compare it, just make sure we have So now I want to take one of my tools. Let me see. I'm going to take this one here. It's got a little ball on it. And I'm going to put the eye approximately right here. See that? So I did that right there. And then I'm going to look to see I'm putting on the same spot over here. What I'm trying to do is give the effect that when you look at this head on, see, I can see it looks like he's looking directly at you. And that's what I want to do. So I'll make that a little bigger. Then I'll make this one a little bigger. And now what I want to do is I'm going to take a small ball of clay, and we're going to make the eyeball or pupil. So I'll show you. We'll take this. I'll put this down on the table so you see the size we're using. We'll use that size right there. What I'm going to do is just make this a little bigger so it'll fit in there all right. See how I'm doing that? And I'm looking at it right now, and I think I made the eye a little too big. So what we can do is I can take a little piece of clay off this, the subtractive technique, and I'm going to make this ball a little smaller. Make each one just a little bit smaller. Sometimes you have to do that because it's experimentation. I'm going to take this smaller ball now, and I'm going to put it in here. See that? And then I'm going to take and do the same thing on the other side. Like that. And then what I want to do is take, and we'll poke a hole in there now. Small hole, like that. The eye. It's really starting to come along now. And then what I want to do is I want to just kind of go around the eye, make sure but I'll rough it up a little bit around the eye like that. Just like that. Did that. Then I'll do the same thing for the other one. Let me see, I want to make sure. Make sure we got a good outline before I do. And now, we'll rough up around that eye now. See how we're doing that? Just like that. So that's coming along nicely. The next thing that we want to do is I want to kind of make sure that this jaw is going to work out all right for us. Yeah, it looks like it will. In order to make sure that this is going to stay the way we want, I have this piece of wire, and what I want to do is I'm going to bend it like this. See that? We're going to bend it almost into like a V shape. Or, yeah, a V shape. See that? So what I want to do now is I want to make sure the jaw is going to stay open. So what we could do is I could even put this inside the mouth like this. Would probably make the most sense because we can hide it there. See how I'm pressing that down? And then what I'm going to do is take a piece of clay and cover it over. Just like that. I'm taking this clay, and as you can see right now, I'm covering it over. That way you can't see it. Another thing that we want to do is what I might do, or I want to do, is I'm going to take and kind of insert this in to the upper head right here. See how I'm doing that? And now we'll connect them. Just want to make sure we have enough I might have to spread it a little more. Yep, it's going to work. I have to kind of blend these together. See that so far? So that's starting to look good. Another thing that I want to do is I want to make a tongue, put it inside the mouth. So I'm going to take a piece of clay like this. We'll take a nice ball like this. And I'll show you. I'll take it and add that a little more. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take see I'm flattening this out? We want to flatten that out. But we also want to make like a very elongated like V shape like that. See how that looks like an upside down V? We'll do that. Just like that. See how we did that? See how it looks on the side? Flatten, like that. Then make the V shape like that. The next thing that we want to do is we want to make the center of the tongue. So I'm going to take this piece here and just kind of make a line like right down the center. Like this. See how we're doing that? Pretty cool. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put that in the mouth of the T-Rex. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to stick that in there, and I'll put that in there like that, and I'll push down a little bit. And then what I might do is kind of have his tongue go up a little bit here. See how I kind of put that up? And that's good. So the next thing that we want to do is I want to flatten this out a little bit. So tap it on the table. Just want to make sure it's not going to fall over. And then I'm going to start to take another piece of clay. I want to make the jaw line, so we'll take this piece of clay here. I'll show you. Think of almost like a banana, the way we're doing this right now. See how that almost looks like a banana? I'm going to take and put that right about there. And we'll work that in. And that'll be like the jawline. I'll take and want to make sure it's attached properly. Okay, so see where I have that right now? And we're kind of working that clay in. Just like that. And that's going to be the jawline. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to get a little piece of clay. And we're going to make that, what I said, like, it looks like a banana. So we got that there. See how we're doing that? Just like that. And I'm going to come in on this side and do the same thing over here. And attach that. You want to make sure you're attaching that from all sides. Just going to get a little more clay and build that up a little more. See how I did that? You want to make that a little more pronounced. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. So one of the next things that we want to do is, now that we got that there, I do want to add teeth. So I'll show you quickly. I'm going to show you how to make. What I did is I made these up ahead of time. I'll show you. I've got a bunch of little teeth in here, but I'm going to show you how I made them. And I had to fire them for like a minute or two to make them hard. They're in here. You can see all the little teeth are there. But what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to make a couple of these teeth, and we'll put them in the mouth. So you take a little ball like this. I'll drop it on the table so you can see that they are very tiny. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to take this, roll it between my fingers, and I want it to look like an upside down ice cream cone. See that, how tiny that is? So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to insert that into the mouth right down there. See how I did that? You can see it, better view that way. So I'm going to take my tool and kind of push down like that. Work it in there, and it's in there. So what we're going to do, I'll take and make another one, upside down ice cream cone, and I'll take and I'm going to place it right in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool and work it in there. See that? And then I'll take and make a third tooth and do the same exact thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easier on myself tonight, because this is the way I did it earlier. But now what I did is I'm going to dump these on the table right here. So now, instead of making up each one individually, I'm just going to place them in the mouth. What I'm going to do is I'll stick them in from the side right here. Temporarily, we're going to see how I did that one? And then I'm going to move them upright in a minute. So you want to do that on the upper and lower jaw like that. So we'll take, and I want to flip them. And you'll do the same thing up here. See how I'm putting those in? But you get the idea. So you're gonna do that all along the bottom. And then what I would do is I would take the tool and straighten out each one of the teeth. Go back in and try to fix that. But I'm going to show you how to do some of the other details also. That way you can see how it should look. We're going to do the nose. And the nose will be right here. So what I'm doing is making an indentation right here. And then I'll make another indentation right here. See that? And then I'm going to take and we're going to start doing some other details. I'm going to take this tool here and just make little indentations like this. See this here? See I'm doing that? Then I'll go just make sure it's all through. Do it from both sides. And then what we also want to do is we want to do it on the other side. Do that. See I'm doing that? And then for the center one, we'll do this here, like that. So that takes care of that. Then another thing that we want to do is in the eye here, I just want to take and make some lines like that up there. See, we're going to flip them upside down. And we'll do that. We'll do the same thing on the other side. See that? And then what I'm going to do is take a couple of pieces of clay here in the back. I'll just do a couple of them to show you. I want to make the skin look a little wrinkly, so what I'm doing is taking a piece of clay like this, and I'm going to place it right here. On the back of the head of the T-Rex. Like that. I'll take another piece, I'll do the same thing. And this is the piece that we're going to place right here. See that? So I'm going to go in from behind here. I'm going to place that right there. We'll do at least a couple of those. And then what I like to do too is I like to rough this up a little bit with the tool. Kind of give it a wrinkly look to it. Like that. See how I'm doing that? Go like that. And I'll try to do it from the other side too. See how I'm doing that? And then one of the next things I want to do also is, let's see, I want to see how I made the detail on this one. This is, I think we'll bring in the matchsticks, and I'll show you. Remember how we made the hole? So now we just take and go like this. See this? I'm putting it pushing it in like this, making the indentation. So it's making the reptilian skin. Just like that. So you just kind of go around. Like that. And then we'll do it here. Just like that. And then I'll even do it down here too. Down and through here. And then what's cool too is we can do it here. See that? Go all the way around. Like that. And now what I would also do too is, like I was saying, you want to go back in with your tool and try to straighten out some of these teeth the way I had done it. So you would straighten those out, work them a little bit like that, and get them straighter. And once they're straight and you've got them the way you want, that's good. But I'll show you, and then we'll just do a little bit more of the matchstick here. You get that area there. And the eyes too, I want to just rough them up a little bit more. I'm going to take my tool and do that and rough it up. You might have to go around the eye again to kind of make it look decent again, because it sometimes when you're handling it, you damage some of the things. But that's the great thing about clay. You can always repair it. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the final version should look like. And this is the final version. So like you can see, I used the matchstick, and I made all those little indentations for the reptilian skin. You can see the mouth with the teeth, how I tried to make the jaw, you know, somewhat curved up above and then down the bottom. You got all the teeth. You got that beautiful tongue in the mouth right there. So that's what it looks like head on. That's what it looks like from the top. And then I also want to show you, this is where I tried to make the neck look like it had the wrinkles. I'll spin that around for you. So this is what your final version of the T-Rex will look like, or T-Rex head will look like once it's complete. I'll just keep rotating it, because that way you can get a really good view of it. And I hope you enjoyed this show tonight, and I look forward to seeing you come back to the show next week. Goodbye for now.